It never crossed my mind.
So how were you able to tell Detective Gaither that Nut and Thug was cool?
Because they're questioning me and I'm trying to get them off of me. And she asked me questions about Nut and Thug, I guess. And I'm telling her whatever she asked me, let's say she asked me a question about the sky. I say, yeah, I seen the sky. It's blue. Whatever she asked me, I'm going to say, I'm going to agree to that. I'm going to say whatever she asked me. If she asked me about this reporter right here, I'm going to say, yep, she's sitting outside me with white tennis shoes on. I'm going to say something. Just because I want her to believe I'm telling her the truth. That I want her to get me out of jail.
But she has on white tennis shoes, don't she?
Don't you got on white tennis shoes? She got on Chucks.
Right, and they white, right?
What color your shoe is? She got on Chucks.
So you telling the truth.
What color your shoes is? She said they white.
Right, so you're telling the truth then.
Well, it depends. See, you pick what you want to tell them.
So did you also tell Gaither in another interview that Nut and Thug had problems?
Can you say it again?
Did you also tell Gaither in another interview that Nut and Thug had problems?
See? You saying it right there and there.
So my question for you is, how would you be aware? How did you know about any relationship between Nut and Thug?
I didn't.
Earlier, I asked you about the time you spent in Miami. I mean, you recalled you didn't remember. Do you recall to tell Detective Gaither that you spent about a week in Miami?
I don't recall what I told whoever you just said.
Now, when you came back from Miami, did you have concerns about, did you have any concern about Thug and you and your relationship?
What you mean?
Did you have any concerns about Thug and you and your relationship?
You asked me?
I am.
Hey, did I have any concern?
Yes.
I just left on with Young Thug?
Yes.
And what my concern was?
I'm asking you if you had any.
If I just left with him, why would I have any?
Do you remember telling Detective Gaither? So we came back and it was like Thug was trying to get rid of me. You feel what I'm saying?
Switch it up.
You had to switch it up.
I had to switch it up.
Why did you have to switch it up?
Because they kept targeting me.
Who is the they?
Investigator Gaither and Dennis.
Why did you have to switch it up to say that Thug was trying to get rid of you? What would that?
Oh, I don't know what I do. No. Let's go back.
Okay.
Now I said that he was trying to get rid of me.
Yes.
That's what I told her.
Yeah.
I don't recall what I told her.
Okay, you don't recall that. Do you remember any conversations between you and Thug regarding having a hit on your head?
You said, do I remember having a conversation with Doug about somebody having heat on my head?
Yes.
No, I don't recall.
Okay. Do you recall telling Detective Gaither that Thug called you and said, bruh, they said I got a hit on your head? And you were like, bruh, You do? And he was like, nigga. And then y'all started laughing.
Oh, you saying that I said Thug had hit out on my head? That's what I'm trying to, because
yes, do you recall?
I thought you were saying that me and him having a conversation, you saying someone else said he had a hit, someone else have a hit on my head?
God bless you.
Are you saying that Young Thug had a hit on my head?
I'm saying, do you recall having a conversation with Thug in which you discussed having a hit on your head? Was my initial question.
Can you ask me that one more time?
Sure. Independently, do you recall back in 2015 having a conversation with Thug about having a hit on your head?
So it was a conversation. I'm trying to make sure I understand you. It was a conversation I was having with him.
Yes.
And I told him that he had a hit on my head.
Just generally.
I'm trying to see, am I understanding you right?
I'm asking you. I'm clarifying. Do you recall generally just having a conversation with Thug about having a hit on your head? Generally.
So you saying I'm trying to, I don't understand.
Sure.
You saying I'm talking to him, me and him talking, I'm telling him that he has a hit on my head.
No.
That's what I'm trying to see what you're saying.
I'm asking you, do you remember just being on the phone with Thug and having a conversation about a hit on your head?
I don't know. I don't get. I don't understand. I don't know how to answer that. I don't know. I don't recall. I don't know.
Okay. Do you remember telling Detective Gaither that you and Thug were on the phone and Thug said to you, bruh, they say I got a hit on your head? Do you recall telling Detective Gaither that?
I don't recall.
And do you recall the telling Detective Gaither in response to that, you said, you do? And then he responded, nigga, and then y'all started laughing. Do you recall Thug telling you about any concerns that his family had with hanging around you?
I don't think I said family, but I do remember people was coming to me telling me things.
Telling you things about what?
I'll sustain the objection.
Do you remember telling Detective Gaither that Thug told you that they're saying on the street that you and Thug had beef?
No, I don't recall that.
And then you said you told Thug, man, I haven't heard anything like that.
I think I just told you that right now.
Do you recall Detective Gaither asking you why would people think that he had a hit on you?
I don't remember what I told the investigators.
Do you remember telling Detective Gaither, like I told you, because everybody in the street saying I did it, and if they kill me, everybody, it's going to go away. Do you remember telling her that?
I remember that. I remember I remember people coming to me, telling me things that was making me think was people was telling me stuff that was trying to get in my people was getting in my head and making me believe things, and I started being paranoid, thinking stuff.
When you were in Miami with, what was his demeanor like towards you? How did he act around you?
What you mean? I was with my baby mom.
Were you ever around him in Miami?
Like, I was there, but we wasn't like we wasn't. I had to deal with my baby mom and my little girl.
Do you recall telling Detective Gaither in this January 28th interview. Like at first, like we were just chilling, like he would treat me like a brother. But even when I went to Miami, he stood back and stuff. But just like he wasn't happy with me around no more, it felt different.
Again, you bringing up conversation I done told the investigators. I know they trying to get me. So again, I wasn't clear the first time, obviously. When the investigator Gaither, was after me, my whole intentions was to get them off of me.
You said that Detective Gaither was after you. Was Detective Gaither the investigator that investigated when you, your baby mother, and your child were shot?
I don't know who was the investigator.
Did you speak with her about that incident when you, your child's mother, and your baby were shot?
Anytime I spoke with her, I think she asked me about everything, like this whole thing. So I don't know what I don't told her, what I ain't told her.
Do you recall her telling you that she was the investigator that was going to investigate the incident with you, your child's mother, and your child being shot at?
Oh, what I recall is I don't know if it was investigator Gator, but at one point they was questioning me and they was telling me, do I remember seeing this person right here? As in they was telling me this was the person that shot at me. So once I heard them bring up a person name, I started saying this must have been shot at me. So
we're going to get to that interview, but I'm asking you a question.
Let's find out. Will you finish with your answer, Mr. Copeland? Something else you want to say? Yeah. So when they was questioning me, and they was like, "Did you see Tay in the car?" I didn't know why they brought his name up, but for them to ask me, did I specifically see Tay? Tay knew I stayed at, so I felt that Gaither was letting me know it was Tay who came to my house. So when she said that, I was like, "Oh, okay."
Okay, but that's not my question. Was she the one who investigated you?
I just remember when she was questioning me about me and my child being shot at, she brought up a person name to me and kept asking me about it. And she brought up two other names, but I didn't know them people to hang together, so I really didn't. I brushed the other two names out, and then later they found out that those was the people involved.
Do you remember? And we're going to actually get to that interview
All right.
next. But do you remember in that interview actually you not wanting to tell Detective Gaither who shot you because you were afraid of being put in the paperwork and snitching? Do you recall that?
I recall this, and this is the God and the truth. I told those investigators that I did not see nobody's face. They constantly kept asking, "You gonna let dudes shoot at you while you got your kid?" Listen, man, it ain't about being afraid of being paperwork or nothing. You feel me? Like it's not.
Do you recall telling the police that you did not want to be in the paperwork?
I probably did. Who like? But if I had to be in paperwork, I'm still gonna be the same person.
Let's get back to the January 28th interview. Do you recall telling Detective Gaither that even when you were in Miami, he stood back and stuff? It looks like he wasn't happy with you anymore. It just felt different.
Can you tell me what you? Because you asked me about interviews. A lot of stuff started changing. You got to be more specific because at one point the police were targeting me so much that I was turning against everybody. I was thinking everybody was out to get me. So when the investigators started asking me questions, whoever they started asking me questions was, they started becoming a problem with me because I started thinking everybody was out to me. So I can't tell you what I said to Investigator Gaither, Dennis, any other investigator that questioned me. All I can tell you is that I was in a messed up state of mind, and you asked me about questions that I was supposed to be asked back then. That if I say something, you're gonna say, "Oh, I might impeach him," or whatever the word is you use. When I don't know, I can't answer that.